Hi, it's Dr. Swickle, functional podiatrist and medical advisor for Step Strong, here to speak to you about how you can prevent a plantar fasciitis flare-up. So let's say that you've been experiencing plantar heel pain for the last several weeks or maybe even several months. Now you are ready to go back to your activity and hope that that plantar fasciitis and that heel pain does not return. Well, here are 5 tips that you can follow to help reduce the chances of that flare-up coming back. Now, the first step is to make sure that you are doing a plantar foot release every single day. I recommend this to all of my patients. You want to use something like a lacrosse ball, golf ball, or even Neuro Ball to roll and release the tissue on the bottom of the foot for at least 5 minutes twice a day. And you want to do that every single day. Now, your second step is going to be incorporating foot strengthening. Now, why this is really important is that research has actually shown that a lot of plantar fasciitis is associated to weak or unstable feet. That means that in order to avoid the return of plantar fasciitis, we need to make sure that our feet are strong. Now, one of the best ways to strengthen your foot muscles is to do an exercise called short foot. This is when you are pushing the tips of the toes down into the ground. You can find many videos on how to do short foot exercise on YouTube, but it is as simple as pushing and anchoring those toes down into the ground. Again, I recommend doing that every single day for at least a couple minutes. Now, your third tip is going to be wearing proper footwear. Now, proper footwear is different for every single person. It is based off of your foot type. Now, typically, if you have a flat or overpronated, unstable foot, you may feel more comfortable in something that is more supportive, more of a traditional sneaker or shoe. Now, others may actually want to be transitioning into more minimal shoes, natural shoes. And this is absolutely fine because research has shown that minimal shoes are actually effective at strengthening the foot. So in a longer term perspective, using minimal footwear may actually reduce the future risk of plantar fasciitis. We want to make sure that we are just transitioning to our footwear, especially minimal footwear, in a progressive and controlled way. So make sure you speak to your podiatrist on the most appropriate footwear based off of your foot type. Now, my fourth tip is going to be using fascia protective supplements. Now, you may have been using systemic enzymes throughout your plantar fasciitis diagnosis, but you actually want to continue using them. Research has shown that using systemic enzymes such as Step Strong is a really effective way to protect the fascia health, the collagen health. And it does this by helping the body regulate the inflammatory process and the fibrinolytic process. That is the scarring response that can happen with soft tissue injury. So I do recommend using a maintenance dose on an ongoing basis with the systemic enzymes to be fascia protective. And then your fifth and final tip is going to be a progressive return to activity. This means that if you were running when you started experiencing your plantar heel pain, we want to slowly increase that level of stress. Maybe go for a shorter run, take a couple days off, keep incorporating all the other recommendations I gave, and then run again several days later, same smaller dose, and see how your foot responds. If you experience plantar fasciitis from standing on your feet long hours, then you will want to gradually increase the time that you are standing on your feet to again minimize overloading the tissue and creating that plantar fasciitis flare-up. So in summary, my 5 tips to avoid a plantar fasciitis flare-up or a return of your plantar fasciitis symptoms once you have got past those is going to be daily foot release, daily foot activation and foot strengthening, proper footwear, whatever that means to you, incorporating fascia protective supplements such as systemic enzymes, and 5, gradual return to activity. To learn more about plantar fasciitis and how powerful systemic enzymes can be in that healing process, please go to stepstrong.com. To learn more about how I treat patients, please go to dremilyspickle.com.